Hey everyone, I hope you all had a good winter and are looking forward to the upcoming riding season as much as I am. As you saw last year, I added a second mountain bike to my quiver, a Transition Spire. In my first video and bike check I filmed of the Spire, I filmed myself riding in the Piedmont trails in Duluth. In that video I mentioned I had ridden at Spirit Mountain earlier that day until the chairlift closed. This video is going to be that footage from earlier that day. This was just my second time riding the Spire, and I was still getting used to it and making a lot of adjustments. Stack height, flip chip geometry change, and suspension. This is the first bike I've owned with Fox factory level suspension, with all the compression and rebound adjustments, so you can really dial in your ride if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can make your suspension set up pretty poorly. I did eventually get the suspension riding much better, following the tuning guides from Fox and even the one from Transition that's specifically for the Spire's kinematics and custom tune on the rear X2 shock. The rear shock in this video is going to be making a squishy, squelching noise from an aerated damper. There's a bunch of air mixed in with the suspension oil. This is due to a defect in the second generation Fox Float X2 design. That shock ended up living up to its reputation for me, leaking a bunch of oil out of the damper one day. To Fox's credit though, they did replace that shock under warranty with a redesigned 2024 factory Float X2 at no cost to me. It's still a work in progress to get that new shock dialed in, since the tune on it is slightly different from the original custom tune on the Spire. That'll be a different video when I finally got it back, got a ride or two in at Spirit before the season ended. If you rode at Spirit Mountain last summer, you know how dusty and loose the trails were. This ride was actually the weekend after the big Enduro race, so the trails were extra blown out and about the worst I've ever seen them. But even with the poor trail conditions, poor suspension setup, and second ride on the Spire, I was having a blast on that bike and growing more confident each lap. I can't wait to get back on the bike and back on the trails for this ride season. Sandy here, blown out from the race last weekend. Through the sandbox. rock roll near the chalet. Really steep, quick roll, some chunk. So I like to ride right foot forward, but left foot forward feels better for that second little roll. Decisions. So composed through that. Jeez. Slack head tube angle is so nice on this trail. Here's all your momentum for you on those square edge hits. Normally I take rider's left there, and I can see why. It's hilarious how much the Spire smooths out that trail.
bucked offline as easy like the fuel does through that chunk. There's a new line through here since they cut a tree down. Let's go up and over. I'll take a harder way, because why not on the Spire? Literally like riding on a cloud. Stay right for this one.